sued by fucking anything nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially New York City.
especially with the fucking sensitive ass flies we have here. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we could say about it. Ready to move on or anything else?
I'm ready to move on. Yeah.
Okay, let me write this down. Write it down to minutes because it's a lot easier to do this and then just do clips like this. What was I gonna say? We can go through LeVar Ball that has to do something with PJ Washington. We can go to prostitution, and we can go.
Our prostitution is gonna become legal in New York.
Yes, it's gonna become legal in New York. Let's start with that one. Let me start the clock. Boom. Any thoughts? Want me to give my thoughts? What you want to do?
But I'll start to introduce the idea.
Okay,
you start the clock right now.
I started. I mean, at the very beginning. Let's go. Basically, in New York City, I think it's only New York City. Prostitution is gonna become legal.
How is it written? Because that's very important.
So
how is the law written?
Let me see if I can maybe just share my screen, make a quick show real quick. Let's see. Cross. Okay, just being decriminalized. Then where's what the fuck? Why can't you just give me like a quick answer? This is what I fucking hate this thing. Okay, we're not reading all that. Basically, apparently, I heard that prostitution is gonna become legal, but apparently, if you're the guy buying the puss, apparently you can get in trouble. I don't know how's that gonna work. But that's a lot to read, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing unless you want to read it right now.
I mean, prostitution is a big thing in New York anyway.
I mean, it's there anyways. It's just they're gonna make it legal. It's just
like it's big in New York, like big in that tri-state area, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Like that shit is pretty big over there.
But it was big regardless, right? I mean,
yeah, it was big regardless.
It's just like weed, right? I mean, it was illegal, but it's not like you couldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you against it, or you don't really care?
Am I against it?
Yeah.
I mean, all that's gonna happen is there's gonna be like what, another 6 million kids killed in the womb.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, let me ask you this.
That's what I see happening anyway.
Are you against about high-end escorts? You know what's a high-end escort?
High-end, like basically an expensive whore.
Basically, an expensive whore. Yeah. How about that? Because this is something that I heard, right? There was a whole debate going on about
what qualifies as a high-end escort. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of bitches that think they deserve to be a high-end escort, and they don't deserve to fucking give them Cheetos. So explain to me what you think a high-end escort is.
From my understanding, one is a girl that is verified. It's a girl that is being tested. She's already being screened. She's low profile. Okay. I'm gonna add that she has to be at least an 8, 9, or a 10 minimum. You cannot be a 5 being a high-end escort. You can't be doing that. You're low-end escort. You might as well be a prostitute. But the high-end escorts high-end escorts are basically girls that CEOs, maybe NBA players that want to stay low-key.
No, so it's basically Instagram models.
You could say that. They stay low-key.
Basically, Instagram models are high-end escorts.
Okay. But again,
Logan Paul was talking about how he went to, I think, he went to an island or whatever like that, right? And all everybody that was there was all Instagram models, and there was an Instagram model that they recognized, and all the girls there were getting paid to fuck people. Okay. So Instagram is basically Instagram models.
Okay, but Instagram models.
That's high-end escort.
Apparently, you go by that.
I mean, it's already happening. It's already happening. New York is just catching up.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why, if I told you I hired a high-end escort, I paid her, how much would they go for? Like $500 an hour? That's something that I heard. More than that?
Probably like $1,000, $5,000.
Let's just say $1,000 an hour. I got a high-end escort. I tell you, Sam, I'm single, whatever. I got a high-end escort. And I'll tell you my reasons. My reason was I didn't want to waste time talking to a girl that I was not really that interested. I just wanted the push. I wanted to stay low-key. I didn't want nobody finding out, and I just was horny. And I got the money. Do you think less of me? You think that's wrong for a guy to do that?
What I think less of you if you used to pay for a high-end escort?
Yeah.
No, because I want to say if you're I'm gonna get in trouble. If you think the high-end escort is a 10, you're probably going to spend that amount of money anyway, regardless, to get her attention, right? So it kind of just cuts through all the bullshit and gets straight to business, you know. And what, $1,000 an hour, you're probably gonna last 30 minutes.
An hour, then she gets the fuck out. She doesn't talk about it. More like 5, but I can go for rounds, some Viagra. Hey,
you hit that shit, and then boom, you feel like the man. You feel like the man. You probably show your boys, hey, this is the girl I had sex with. They all look at you like you're the man type shit. That's kind of what boys do in the first place.
And she knows she knows what to do. She's a professional at it, right? It's not, because this is the thing, right? Hypothetically speaking, I'm single. I go to a bar and I meet a girl. Whatever. Let's just say she's a 5. And she's gonna be dancing. She's not gonna be clean. I don't know what the fuck she's up to. High-end escorts are clean. They're verified. Everything is safe. It's basically like you said. You just cut all the bullshit. Instead of wasting time on a 5, taking her out, acting like I care. Why don't you just pay your $1,000 and get yourself an 8, 9, or 10? Call it a day.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's not just for girls too. It's for guys. I never said this to anyone else. I think only one other person knows, and the other person only knows because they introduced me to the person. I was offered a job to do something like that.
Okay, a high-end escort?
No, I was offered the job to be an escort to fuck with girls.
It's like old ladies and shit.
No, it was fucking weird. It was just fucking weird. There was, as far as I'm aware, they broke it down. Some people want the boyfriend experience. Yeah, whatever that's just called. They wanted a boyfriend experience. Some people just wanted some nasty shit. And I was like, yo, this is pretty unsafe, you know? And it's like the person I knew was doing it. And he was doing it, and he was making good bet off of it. And he made a couple $1,000s off of that shit, whatever like that. Now he has a family, so I'm not gonna mention his name. Okay. So but yeah.
Well, the reason I brought it up is because the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels, talked about how he used high-end escorts. He actually took a high-end escort to a company's party. And the story goes like this. He takes a high-end escort, and that's actually a good move too. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you have an image and you want to go somewhere and this is politics. It's politics 101. If you want to be viewed a certain type of way, you surround yourself with people that you want to be viewed like. So if you were to go to a party and you're in a nice suit and you hire a high-end escort with a nice red dress and an outfit or whatever, and they go out with you, at that moment, everyone at the party is going to view you as higher than what you might actually be. Yeah. Because he talked about it. He talked about the high-end escorts. It's not that you just call them and they show up. They have to actually verify it. Yeah. Okay. So they're not fucking around with just random guys to meet on the street. They have to know who you are. If you're tested, if you're clear, yada yada yada. So he took the high-end escort to this company's party because the way he saw it is, you probably mess around with some of the CEOs and high-earning people here. If they checked you out and you're clear, and you check them out and they're clear, when they view me with you, the way he put it was that they're gonna think I'm cleared because you cleared me, right? It's basically like networking without saying anything. Yeah. And actually, a CEO of a company, I don't think it was a CEO, someone high up, he went to the bathroom, he was cleaning himself, and some guy came up to him. He was like, "Hey, that girl, she's a good girl. I'll keep an eye on you," and walked away. And I was like, "Oh shit." That's how it works. Like you said, politics. It's just working the room, making yourself notice because everyone's looking about it.
But that's a regular thing. That shit happens. Like kind of like a lower level. That shit happens already amongst women. Women become friends with what's familiar very often. So usually you can go with self-image. So usually if a in my opinion, and you know, I'm not a fucking guru. It's just things I picked up and things I've also been taught as well. Women, let's say they have a bad self-image, right? They usually get in a group of people that have bad self-images. Okay. If you wear your hair a certain type of way, usually the girls you're gonna hang out with, the girls that hang out with other girls, they wear their hair exact similar. You ever notice that groups of friends look very similar to each other?
Yeah, I
It's
noticed the
'cause they
God
feel
kids.
they
Kind of
they,
look
they
the same.
feel they feel safe in that group. It's harder to be special and unique within a group than it is to be viewed as being viewed as equal within a group, right? And guys do it too. A lot of guys best friends, a lot of guys that are like closest, like they usually look alike. People, oh, you guys look like brothers. That's usually what happens, right? Same height. A lot of guys are close friends. Me and you, like, what, like there's like an inch of difference between me and you.
Yeah, but
And
I
same thing with
get
John. Isn't John like your height?
it's a little bit just taller than me. Yeah, but
He's shorter than you.
yeah, but I think one, we're more of an outlier. Like, yeah, our height is similar. You know, all three of us, John, me, and maybe your friends. But like again, I mean, we talked about it all the time. I mean, people wouldn't really guess that we were friends. You know what I mean?
That me and your friends, but that's based on personality, not based on the way we look. Off the way we look, probably as well, but it makes sense when we're next to each other. The way we joke around, the way we bounce off each other. In a vacuum, I'll separate, no. But together in the same spot, us joking, we're on the same height, and then we bounce. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. It makes sense that girls like gay guys, and it's usually the girls that fuck with gay guys is those gay guys that very found boy, you know.
Yeah.
And it also the girls that like those guys are, wild girls. And for the most part, they want to be friends with that. Oh my god, like girls like that because they match like fucking jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah. So like you're saying is harder to be accepted. So they're trying to find people that already accept them already without trying to be unique. Stuff like that.
There's politics in almost every group setting you're going to be in. There's politics already, and there's politics in the group settings that I'm with the people I know. They don't know that I know there's politics, but I know that there's politics. My girl knows that there's politics there. She's able to pick that shit up, and it's very simple. You got to get inside the politics, you get outside the politics.
To play the game. So I mean, we're pretty much in agreement in this whole prostitution thing and escort thing. I think it's cool, man. If you got the money, why the hell not? Why fuck around with a 5 when you get a 10? That's my thoughts. That's it.
Yeah, especially have the bread. Girls will probably get offended by it though. A lot of girls that want to be girlfriend material are getting offended by it.
What, that you will pay for puss? I mean, we're all paying for puss. We're all paying.
At the end of the day, everyone's paying for pussy.
Yeah, we're paying with time, paying when I take a girl out, we're all paying.
Time, dates, all that stuff.
That thing is indirectly, right? When we do it, when we're taking our girl on a date or we're spending our time with her, it's indirectly, right? That you're paying for. So they view it differently.
But I also view, like, if you get to I don't want to say this because this sounds some red pill shit. If you get to a high enough level in self-confidence, your image, and you maximize where you could be visually, visually aesthetic to females, you don't have to spend money.
Well,
you don't have to spend money.
Not monetary, but they're getting a transaction out of it. It's your status. Like, oh, I fucked such and such. So they're getting something out of it. I mean, we're all paying in a way. Either money, time, status, whatever. There's a payment that is being given, regardless. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that's pretty much it. I was gonna say something else, but I completely forgot. Yeah, like quick thing. Do you care if a girl respects you if you're just trying to bone?
Do I care if a girl respects me?
Yeah, if you're just trying to have sex, not a relationship, you're just trying to have sex with a girl.
I'm just trying to have sex with a girl. Do I care if she respects me?
Yeah, if she respects you. After you bone, do you care?
Oh, you're saying after I hit, do I care if a girl respects me?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I feel like I'm pretty much an outlier, and a lot of these kind of questions you'd ask me, because to me, what's the most important is I care about if I respect myself first over anything else.
Okay,
right? If I respected myself enough to have sex with a girl in the first place, like I thought, okay, this is something I want to do. It's something that is gonna happen. I don't think that in my head I'm worried about how she's viewing me. If she allowed it to happen, or if she was willing to make that transaction to exchange fluids and whatnot, there had to be a modicum of respect there for it to happen. Or she had to have no self-respect in the first place. It's either she had respect for me, that's why she wanted to do it, or she had no self-respect and she just does it with anyone. That's kind of the only kind of two roads there is. Yeah. That's all it could really be.
No, I agree with you. The reason I asked you was because, Fresh from the podcast was talking about that he only cared about a girl's respect and that every girl that he ever was with respected him. And I'm like, boy, I'm a nice guy, but I don't think every girl that I've ever been with respects me. I don't know about that.
And it's also like, how the fuck how can you gauge if someone else respects you?
Yeah.
I barely know if I like people half the time. How the fuck am I gonna know after meeting someone for one night, that person respects me so deeply? Yeah, that's stupid. They might respect what you have, but respecting what you have and what you've grown is not the same thing as respecting you as an individual.
Yeah.